So we got this guy all cleaned up. The Asmodus Nefarius RDTA. I've heard a lot of people are a little bit frustrated with RDTAs. They don't work well and stuff, but I'm just going to give you guys an idea of what I do differently that might help. Now, I really like this RDA, and I'm hoping that maybe Asmodus will watch this video. I'm purposely, like, you know, keeping it down here so that you can see the RDA. But Asmodus, if you guys are going to watch this, what I've done is on the deck here where there's this little like airflow hole. I believe what it's for is to let air in so that the juice can come up. What I did was I probably doubled that hole, you know, put a drill bit in there and opened it up, made it a little bigger, and this is Brandy's RDA. She's waiting for her Kodama to come back, so I've got my Kodama. She's got the V2, I got the 1.5 or whatever, but she's just using mine for now. But this is her RDA, and she vapes coconut nut, and you know, some flavors you gotta sacrifice a little bit of re-wicking time. You gotta re-wick a little bit more often. Coconut nut's one of those. The chocolate, the coffee, the vanilla. Vanilla's not usually that bad, but it's just one of those flavors that kind of kills your coils a little quicker. So before I dug that hole out, made it a little bit bigger, she was only getting like a day and a half out of it. And she vapes quite a bit. Like day and a half, she's probably going through 30 mils or so-ish. But after I made that hole a little bigger, it was wicking a little better, a little faster, and not drying out as fast. And now she's getting about 5 days out of it, and probably, I don't know, about 60 or 70 mils-ish. So, yeah, Asmodus, if you guys would be so kind as to just dig that hole out a little bit bigger, I think your customers will be a little happier. So, even with flavors that aren't killing coils super quick, you might get an extra day or two out of it, making it a little bit more convenient, making people enjoy the Nefarius that much more. Now, this Nefarius has 3 different airflow settings, and there's 2 holes, one on either side, small, medium, and large. Let's see if I can pop this cap so I can actually show you. But there's like a large hole and a medium hole and a small hole, and then you can kind of go everywhere in between. Because of the restrictiveness, this is all kind of just my personal thoughts on it or whatever, but because this guy is a little bit restrictive, especially if you're using, say, one of those smaller airflows, or maybe you use about half of the big airflow, this thing gives you really, really nice flavor. We're actually, we're out of stock at Blue Vapes right now on the Nefarius, but there's more coming in. Because once that word starts getting around, people tell other people, like, wow, this is a really nice RDA. But that's it's my opinion. You know, ask someone else, or do some reviews on, or have a look at some reviews online to see what other people say about it. But to re-wick it, I kind of leave everything nice and fluffy inside of there. I'll pull my wicks through and leave them nice and long. I'll screw it onto my mod without the glass or anything in there. I'll twist up one end. Let's see if I can get this on camera. And twist up one end and just use my tweezers to kind of tuck it in there. Makes a big loop, reach underneath, and just kind of pull it through without pulling super tight. Leave it nice and fluffy on top without it hanging over and interrupting the O-rings and stuff on there. And then there's kind of just one more trick at the end here that ensures that we don't have too much cotton in there. So I'm sure I've mentioned this before in the past. RDTAs are different for everybody, and everybody has their own opinion. Just like a belly button, everybody's got one, right? So a lot of people are saying cut the cotton right off at the deck. But what I like to do is I'll unscrew this guy once I get the cotton underneath. See that little green O-ring at the bottom or the top, however you want to look at it, of the 510 there. I'll kind of pull my cotton down gently without like pulling it too tight on the other side next to the coils. I'll line my scissors up with that green O-ring, and I'll cut a couple off here so that you guys can kind of get a better look at it. Oh, where's my camera? Super bright. I could probably, fuck it, you guys get the idea. But what I'm doing is there's like the green O-ring and then there's a little beveled edge. So I'll kind of go to the far side of that beveled edge, the furthest away from the green O-ring, whatever color O-ring is going to be in yours, and I'll cut it off there so that there's the wicks are gonna barely be above the bottom of this deck, right? Like this is the little deck section, and of course you've got glass in between there, but when you screw this on, it's gonna sit just a couple of mils away from the bottom of the cotton so that the juice on the bottom can just go into that cotton, and it'll treat it like, I don't know, I see cotton as like a bit of a garden hose, like it's porous inside, if you can imagine. And then, before I slam everything together, these scissors, of course, have compressed the cotton on the end. So I take I got a little beard brush from one of the trimmers that I bought, and I'll just gently comb it all out. I'll comb it towards the 510, and then I'll get in between. I'll get in between there. Let's bring this camera over here where it's not quite as bright. You guys can maybe see it a little better. We see all this fluffy stuff that's coming off. I'm kind of dragging all the fibers in one direction towards the bottom, getting rid of all this loose stuff and kind of thinning it out a little bit, especially if you like to use like a max VG. All of our flavors that we sell at Blue Vapes are an 80-20 or better, so they're nice and thick and rich. A little better even for summer weather that's really hot. It may get a little thin, but it's not gonna like pour out of a tank. Or if you have this RDTA upside down, it's not gonna pour out as readily. Of course, if it's 40 degrees outside, that stuff's gonna be super thin, and it's pretty possible that you can pour that stuff right out of here. But anyhow, I take my time, get in there with the beard brush, brush it up real good, make all the fibers go the same direction, pull off all the extra stuff. Then I'll set the glass in here without getting any of the fibers into the O-ring section. And I'll take the tweezers, kind of push it away and make sure that I'm not gonna get any of that wicking material in the sealing surfaces. Because of course, if the cotton's coming through the O-rings and sitting on the outside, not only is it going to look like hell, but it's going to wick right through the O-rings and onto your hand, onto your mod. Screw up your mod, piss off your mom, whatever. Screw this guy together. Oh, I picked up a little bit of that cotton in there, but it's not showing on the outside. You get the general idea. Snug it up, not super tight. But that's pretty well her, guys. Then you can fill this Nefarius. It's got a center hole right there, right down the center. You shove your bottle in there, you fill it up, and then it kind of releases the air through that little hole on the side. I really wish I had a better camera so I could show you guys a little bit better. I'm just using my phone. Ask me some questions if you need. I'm here for you. I've probably fucked up more stuff than most people. So how do you learn, right? You mess some stuff up. What else do I gotta say? Probably nothing, but Asmodus Nefarius, I like it. Oh, another thing, I'm hoping that this video isn't gonna get torn down, but I was talking to the Moonshine Bandits a few weeks back on Instagram, and I really like their music, and I can voice over this video if you guys aren't gonna go for this, but I'm gonna send you guys a message and maybe even send you this video, and see if I can't, you know, get some permission to run your music in the background, because there's, you know, there's so many people out there nowadays that that don't want their music shown in different videos and stuff. But I really enjoy your guys' music. It's a little different. It's a little, you know, off the beaten track. It's a little country, like I tend to be. So anyway, this is Dylan Blue from Blue Vapes, Rustic Coiler, if you will. Harm reduction is what we're all about, so I'm going to end it with that. If you guys are unsure about vaping and what the pros and cons are to switching from cigarettes, I'm here for you. And tell a friend. You know what? If you guys are out there walking around vaping and it's helped you to quit smoking, tell a friend about it. Tell a family member. We got to spread the word and make sure that people know that there's a tobacco nicotine alternative, or TNA. I like TNA. Bye, guys.